Park Ranger. Mike was on his usual patrol through the dense forest when he noticed something strange. High up in the trees, there seemed to be clusters of white spherical objects, almost like oversized eggs. Curiosity piqued, he decided to take a closer look and used his binoculars to get a better view. What he saw disturbed him, these eggs. He decided to report his findings to his partner, Ranger Lisa, when he got back to the ranger station. But before we start, smash the like button and make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and hit that notification bell so that you won't miss any new stories. Back at the ranger station, Mike relayed his findings to Lisa. "Hey Lisa, you won't believe what I came across today," he began, pulling out his map and pointing to the location. "High up in the trees, I saw something that looked like giant eggs." Lisa raised an eyebrow and leaned in closer to the map. "Giant eggs? Are you sure?" she asked. Mike nodded, baffled. Skeptical but intrigued, Lisa suggested they return to the site together the next day. "Let's check it out first thing in the morning." The two spent the evening researching possible explanations. Could it be some sort of insect nest or perhaps a bird species they hadn't encountered before? Mike admitted, rubbing his forehead. Lisa sighed in frustration, closing her laptop. "Looks like this is something we'll have to figure out on our own." They decided to call it a night, planning to resume their investigation with fresh eyes in the morning. A storm was rolling in, so they decided to leave the investigation until the weather cleared. "Looks like we've got a bit of bad luck with the weather." When they returned to the site the following morning, they brought along climbing gear for a closer inspection. The forest was still damp from the storm, but the air was clear and crisp. They made their way back to the trees where Mike had seen the mysterious eggs, hoping for some answers as they prepared to climb. Mike scaled the tree first, carefully detaching one of the eggs and bringing it down to Lisa. The object was heavier than expected and had a small seam running around its middle. "This thing feels strange," Lisa commented, turning it around in her hands. Mike peered over her shoulder, equally puzzled. "Maybe it opens?" They exchanged a glance, realizing this might be something completely different from what they initially thought. Lisa pointed out that it looked more like a manufactured object rather than something organic. "Look at the precision of this seam. It's not natural," she said, scrutinizing the line that circled the object. They decided to take it back to the station for further examination. Mike placed the object carefully in the back of their SUV. "Let's hope this gives us some clues," he said. Back at the station, Mike and Lisa set the object on a table and began a more detailed examination. "All right, let's see what we've got," Lisa said, putting on a pair of gloves. Mike leaned in, using a magnifying glass to inspect the seam. "This definitely isn't natural," he muttered. They tried to pry it open with no success, so they resorted to more sophisticated tools. "Let's try the small crowbar." After a few minutes of effort, they still couldn't get it to budge. "We need something more precise," Lisa concluded, setting the crowbar aside. Mike fetched a set of fine tools from the cabinet. After several minutes of careful effort, a hidden latch was discovered. "Hold on, I think I found something," he confirmed. They worked together to carefully manipulate it. After a tense moment, they heard a soft click, signaling the latch had been disengaged. As they opened it, they found what appeared to be a small cylindrical device inside. "What on earth is this?" Lisa wondered aloud, lifting the device cautiously. Mike scrutinized it, trying to make sense of the object. It was sleek and metallic, with small buttons and what looked like a tiny screen. "This isn't something you'd expect to find in the forest," Mike remarked. They examined it closely, hoping for some indication of its purpose. They decided it was time to bring in an expert for a second opinion. "We should contact someone who knows more about this kind of equipment. Let's call Dr. Emily Cart." The next morning, they contacted Dr. Emily Carter, a local biologist with a specialty in forest ecosystems. "Dr. Carter, it's Ranger Lisa and Mike. We've found something unusual in the forest," Lisa explained on the phone. Dr. Carter agreed to come over immediately. "I'll be there in an hour. Emily arrived at the station and was shown the strange findings. "Let's see what you've got." Lisa handed her the object, watching closely as Emily examined it. "This is quite unusual," Emily commented. After carefully examining the object for several minutes, Emily confirmed it was definitely not of biological origin. Her initial thought was that it might be some kind of monitoring device, but its exact purpose remained unclear. "It has the characteristics of surveillance tech," she said, turning the object over in her hands. Lisa raised an eyebrow, intrigued. With the uncertainty growing, Emily suggested they contact the police and possibly the FBI, suspecting the involvement of something more significant. "We need to take this up a notch," she advised. Mike and Lisa exchanged uneasy glances. "You think it's that serious?" Mike questioned. Emily nodded. "Better safe than sorry. It's outside our expertise," she replied. Lisa. Later that afternoon, Officer Reynolds arrived at the ranger station to assess the situation personally. He greeted them as he stepped inside. Mike and Lisa led him to the table where the object lay. "Here's what we found." Officer Reynolds listened carefully to Mike and Lisa as they explained their discovery in detail. He then examined the object himself, turning it over and inspecting the seam and buttons. "This is beyond my expertise," he admitted, speaking into his radio. "A specialized team will be here shortly," Reynolds confirmed. The Rangers were advised to cease their patrols and await further instructions from the arriving team. The specialized team, led by Agent Marks, arrived at the Ranger station the following morning. They moved with purpose, setting up a temporary command post inside the station while finalizing their plans, marking off the area where the eggs were found and securing the perimeter with bright yellow tape. No one gets in or out without clearance. Mike and Lisa felt both relieved and anxious as they briefed Agent Marks on their discovery. "We found the first object here," Mike said, pointing to a map. Marks listened intently, nodding as he took notes. "And you're sure you saw more of these up in the trees?" he asked, looking up from his notepad. "Positive," Mike confirmed. Lisa added, "We've never seen anything like this before." Over the next few days, the team retrieved several more objects from the trees, treating each one with the utmost caution. Each egg was documented, photographed, and placed into secure containers. "Handle with care," Marks reminded his team repeatedly. "This place has more stories than we realized," Lisa said, watching another object being examined. Mike nodded. "Yeah, it's like peeling back layers of history." One night, unable to sleep, Mike took a walk around the station and overheard a conversation between Marks and another agent. They mentioned something about surveillance nodes and an ongoing operation, which only added to Mike's confusion and worry. "We need those nodes operational ASAP," Marks emphasized. Mike crept back to his quarters, his mind whirling. What exactly had they stumbled upon in their forest? The surveillance aspect suggested something far more serious than they had originally thought. The next day, Mike approached Marks, requesting more transparency about the situation. "Agent Marks, we need to talk," he began, catching up to the agent in the hallway. Marks glanced up, eyebrow raised. "What is it, Ranger?" Mike took a deep breath. "We've been patient, but we need to know what exactly is happening here." Marks hesitated but eventually agreed to share some information. "All right, follow me," he said, leading Mike to a private room. Lisa joined them, and Marks shut the door behind them. "You've earned the right to know a bit more," Marks began. "But this must stay between us for now." He explained that the objects were indeed some form of surveillance equipment, possibly linked to an international smuggling ring operating in the area. "These devices have been found in other regions too," Marks disclosed. Mike's eyes widened. "Smuggling? In our forest?" Lisa was equally stunned. Their presence in the forest was both accidental and intentional, serving as a relay for information likely passing through the region. "They're using our forest as a conduit," Marks explained, spreading a map on the table. "It's both a hiding spot and a strategic node." Marks emphasized the importance of remaining discreet to avoid public panic. "This information doesn't leave this room," he warned. As the investigation deepened, a breakthrough came when the agents deciphered data from one of the devices. "We got something," an agent called out, drawing everyone's attention. Marks and the Rangers hurried over. "What does it say?" Lisa asked, leaning over the screen. "It points to a location near here." The information pointed to a nearby abandoned cabin as a potential hub for illicit activities. "It's an old hunting cabin not far from here. A joint operation between the federal agents and local police was planned to raid the cabin. We'll coordinate with local authorities to ensure everything goes smoothly." The plan was set in motion, and everyone hoped this would be the key to unraveling the mystery. Positions ready. The raid on the abandoned cabin unfolded swiftly and efficiently, leading to the arrest of several suspects and the recovery of more equipment linked to the surveillance nodes. Mike and Lisa assisted with securing the perimeter. Inside, Marks and his team collected evidence. Forensic analysis confirmed that the eggs were high-tech spy devices used to monitor and transmit data about smuggling routes through the forest. "These things are more sophisticated than we thought," an agent said, displaying the innards of one device. The discovery of these devices not only disrupted the smuggling ring, but also shed light on the extensive network they had established. "We've only scratched the surface," Marks commented during the debrief. The evidence pointed to a well-coordinated operation spanning multiple regions. The complex intricacies of the smuggling operation began to reveal themselves through this technology, making it clear that this wasn't just a small-time gig, but something much larger. Their investigation had inadvertently uncovered an extensive smuggling network. "This is international," Marks stated grimly. Their forest had become a crossroads for crime. The relentless work of the Rangers had led to the disruption of a highly secretive operation. "We've put a major dent in their plans." The dedication of Mike and Lisa had not only safeguarded the forest, but also played a pivotal role in a major law enforcement success. "You both have been invaluable," Marks admitted during the debrief. Mike and Lisa exchanged proud smiles. "Protecting the forest is our job." In the end, the forest was safer and justice had been served. The results of their work provided a sense of fulfillment. Their actions had not only solved a mystery, but also safeguarded the natural beauty and integrity of the place they loved and protected. Mike and Lisa returned to their duties, ever vigilant and aware that even the quietest corners of the world can hold the deepest secrets. "We'll always stay sharp," Mike vowed. Lisa nodded, "and ready for anything." Their forests, rich in history and now equally rich in hidden tales, stood as a testament to their dedication. The Rangers knew their responsibilities extended beyond the visible, always prepared for the unexpected.